Good afternoon, neighbor. Hey, diddly do. What's going on? How's everybody doing today? Going live. Yesterday, day got away from me. It didn't happen yesterday, but today we're going to dive right back into the Spark app. And I've got the big Spark amp. I don't have the little mini one that everyone else has, but I'm looking forward to hearing once we get all these tones together. We're gonna have a little bit of show and tell with a lot of the folks that are watching us here, and we're gonna hear some tones. Hear you guys play some tones with your mini Sparks. It's gonna be fun. So I notice, I can see some folks are coming in here. We've been getting some great comments on a lot of these Spark videos that we're doing. And a lot of you have them and have been saying that you've been diving deep into this a lot more than you have been for a very long time. So this is a good thing. I'm learning a lot about this along with you. I'm not doing tons of preparation for this. I use my regular take the instructions and chuck them out the window, and I just dive in and sometimes you get sometimes you find cool stuff that you didn't know was going to be in there. So if you are, I see some folks are coming in. Please say hi in the chat. I'd love to know that you're here. We're going to be going into doing the quick jam today. The last one, I think, was it Monday? We did the smart jam, and the smart jam was basically what you do is you play chords, and then it figures out your chords, and then it arranges kind of a song for you. And it worked a little bit. It worked okay. There was one time where there was something I thought was pretty fun. Coke's here on Twitch too. I've been doing these in Twitch, and I actually took Coke's advice and actually set it up for digital recording, so we can watch the other episodes there. How long? Hey, Coke, how long do they stay up? Is it like 2 weeks or something like that? Is there a rotation where they keep the older videos, or do they just stay up all the time? I read something that said it was only for a limited amount of time. Maybe you got to be a paying member or something like that. Kevin's here. Kevin's getting out of the freezing cold. Let's see here. Coke says, yes, I believe about 2 weeks. How's it in the north up there? Are we still getting a lot of that freezing rain and all that nastiness from a couple days ago? I hope not. Great. So we're getting a bunch of people coming in. I've got Twitch. I've got YouTube in here. We have Twitter. Anybody on Twitter watching this? I just press the button and it goes to Twitter. I don't know. I got a lot of followers on Twitter, but it just doesn't seem to do a whole lot. And we have Facebook, lots of different Facebook. We have the group, and then we have the regular Play Guitar Podcast page too. Let's see here. Bipolar here, 50 then. Okay, so let's go. Let's head on over here. If anybody has any suggestions about what we should do today, I'm gonna need a lead guitar sound. Something more than that. I've been using this with the black op pedal for the lead stuff today. I don't know. Let's see. Let's go to where are the tone cloud. Let's see. All right. Let's see if we've got some. Are these mine, or these are the tone cloud? Okay, these aren't mine. Where did I get to mine? Oh, I think up here. There we go. Let's see. I've been doing a lot in the rock tones lately. So let's go down here to the bottom and see if there's any. to this matchless. That's okay. How about the dirty bucks? That's okay. How about yellow box? Nah. Let's go with Plexi today. That sounds like fun. Okay, so now we're going to head back over here. When we go to the jam settings, we're going to go. Let's get the close up here. Right down at the bottom of your screen. Right. There's my finger. Right there. The little music note section here. So automatically it pops up. You get your Jimi Hendrix stuff up at the top. You've got some recently played, which who knows? Who knows who recently played those? You have your Smart Jam, which we did yesterday. And now we're moving over to the right of that. And this is going to be a little bit more usable than the Smart Jam. Why? Because I think it does everything for you. It doesn't have to listen to you. It just comes up with the song, and then you just jam along with it. Gives you the chords, all that stuff. So let's just go. Let's just go in order. Let's go to Pop is the first one, and don't hear anything. Let's see if we turn it up. Oh, okay. I think maybe the Spark Audio has disconnected from the Bluetooth. So, yeah, I'll just talk to you for a minute while I try and fix this. Let's see if I can get the Bluetooth to connect to the Spark Audio. Here. Connect. Connecting active. All right. Now we should be good to go. Let's try it again. There we go. Can you hear that? I sure can. All right. Let me make sure that I've got the right audio. I do. You should be able to hear that. Let's see if I can get the volume. I'm doing a quick mix. Okay. What key are we in? So we're in the key. It looks like we're in the key of E. This is giving me a pop song. Here's the close up. This is giving me a pop song. All with one chord. E. Okay. Which is nice, you know, sometimes. I wouldn't call that pop, but hey, what are we going to do? So up here at the top, let me fix your viewing angle here. And so there we go. Up at the top here, it says pop. That's what we're looking at. And then we've got an arrow to the left and an arrow to the right. So let's see if what changes when we move over to the right here. Now it's giving me a whole new song in the key of E as well. Maybe I'm doing something incorrect. You can help me out if I am. So if every song is in the key of E, then I know I'm doing something wrong. These are all, they're all, the only chord they're using is E. What am I doing wrong here? Because it didn't do that on my phone. Okay. This is what's really wonderful about this. Everything's in E, E7. Now, let's look at any adjustments that they have. We have tap, we have bass, we have transpose, and we have reset to default. Okay, that's the only things we have. It's not listening to us. We have this here, which does nothing. And then we have the chord signal. We touch on it, does nothing. And pop does nothing. So every time on my phone, when I did this earlier, as I would go left and right, it would create a new song. So let's try a different one. Let's try funk. All right, now we got some chords going here. So we have an E7, a G7, and an A7. Let's take a look. Nope. What we got here? Oh, they put an A on me. Okay. So it was nice with this. We had an E chord. It was going back and forth between E7 and G7. So we have a lot of things we can do with that. What can we do with an E7 and a G7 chord? So anytime that you have a dominant chord, things open up for you really nicely. You have a lot of different ways that you can go. If it's just E major, a little bit of flexibility of what you can do. E minor, not so much. E minor kind of, there's not a whole lot of messing around you can do with minor. But the dominant seventh, an E dominant seventh, I could play an E major pentatonic scale. I could play the E minor pentatonic scale. I could play the E mixolydian scale. I could play basically those three, and then some diminished things that we can play over that, some whole tone things that you could play over that. There's a lot of different things that you could do over the dominant seventh. If it was just the major, well, we have that minor third to major third thing that we all like to hear so much. So you can mess around going kind of minor to major. But what we have here is we had the E. Let's go back here. E7 going to G7. So because they're both dominant, we can kind of choose what we want to do. Do we want it to sound more major? Do we want it to sound funkier? Do we want it to sound minor? One of the things that I was liking with that is that the E major, the G major, and then when we go to E, I'd go E minor. So that's kind of a relative major and minor that I could pick. But it's seventh chord, so you got some, the bass players playing around with the flat sevens on that. So that was pretty cool. Let's do another funk one here. Let's what do we got? We got E, and it looks like F sharp. Okay, so we have E7, A7, and F sharp 7 on this one. I'm going to slow this one down. Here we go. So ready? So this is all E. I can go any way that I want. Comes the F sharp. Okay, so that was kind of fun. I like that. It's pretty similar in the same way. It was in the key of E. We had an A7 in there, which was nice, but the F sharp 7, really, you know, in E, you're gonna have a F sharp minor, so the F sharp 7 sounded really nice too. So I like the funk one. What will we use this for? So exactly what I just did. I had a song pop up. I didn't know what the chords were going to be. And it goes 1, 2, ready, go. Very similar to a live situation when you're sitting in with other people, or if you're like at an open mic night or something like that. 1, 2, ready, go. You're like, what am I going to do? And hold on. And I was just holding on there, right? So pretty neat, pretty neat. So it's a good practice for getting into playing uncomfortably, you know, being able to quickly change on the spot. I was playing from chord to chord, but as we get through this with some other chord progressions, we may be playing more key-based stuff. So that was the funk. The pop one just did one chord all the time. Let's try it again, see if it changed up on me. Nope, just E7 the whole time. Not pop at all. Okay. So now we'll go to the rock. Okay, so the rock, it just loaded up a song for me here. We've got E minor, G, A, D, and B. E minor, G, A, D, and B. What key would you say that's in? It's looking like E minor to me, right? Especially because there's a D chord in it. That D is what gives it the weight. The D is a flat 7. And the B is the 5 chord. That was fun. You know, that was just a typical E minor rock song. Exactly what you would think from the rock thing. So if you wanted to play something, I could have done natural minor over all of those chords. I did mostly blues scale and minor pentatonic all over those things. So anything that you really feel like doing, it's fun. So let's see what we got here. So here's another one. We're in the key of... Looks like we're in the key of C. Oh, maybe A minor. This is A Million Songs. Yeah, fun. Just a typical old A minor. So we had, let's go back to the beginning. We had A minor. Then we're going to the F, which is then to the C. This is A Million Songs, but these are good songs, good chords to play over. F. Let's play it again. Start at the beginning. So I'm going to do an A minor at the 5th fret. An F. Kind of Hendrix F. Oh, it went to an F. So another thing that you can do with this is for songwriting, writing some cool stuff. I'm getting a lot of good ideas from this one thing. So we have a A minor. Just like an A minor 9. Well, let's see. Let's do an A minor here. So, and C, and G. I could do the whole thing. Let's see, I can't. My close-up cam is being used on the thing. So I could do the whole thing up here at the 12th fret. And then we have F. And then we had C. And then G. No. I would probably do it here. You could do some really cool double stoppy Hendrixy, major pentatonic hammer-on pull-off things with this one here. That was pretty cool. Let's do one more. See one more what we got here. So this is on for E minor. Yeah, this is pretty easy stuff. It'd be fun to practice some scales over top of that. So this was the rock. I like the rock the best so far, but let's see. We got one left, one of our quick jams left, and that is blues. And It's going to instantly pop up a blues in C, it looks like here. So here's what we got. We've got a C, an F, and a G. Not seventh chords, strangely enough. Oh, it quit on me. Okay. That was fun too. So it came up with a blues really quickly. If you need a blues backing track, just a solo over, that was pretty nice. Let's see what we get here. Switch to the key E. And it looks like a 12-bar blues. Yep, straight to a 12-bar blues. A. So this looks like it's a. Let's see if we get some slide up here. This slide's too big for this guitar. This keeps wanting to fret out. It's too thick. I need to get okay. So let's wrap up this with the quick jam. So we've got our pop, which wasn't very useful. It just did it basically a rock beat with one chord. We had our funk, which was okay. The rock was great. And I think that the blues was great. So an easy way to just sit down and start playing over top of some really basic stuff. Practice your soloing, practice your chords, practice, keeping up, reading. When you get into a band situation, or you get into, you might be in like a school band or something where you're getting given chord charts all the time. It's really tough to keep up with those chords. You have to keep looking ahead. This is good practice for that too, because it's always new chords and it's always a new chord progression. You never know when they're going to come up there. There's a couple of them came up. It surprised me a little bit there too. So, so that's all there is. Not a whole lot to it, but it's pretty useful. It gives you a quick jam track, and you can actually change the keys. We didn't go into that, but there's a way you can transpose it, and then you can speed it up and slow it down. Don't need much more than that. Okay. All right. So let's see. What do we have next? So I guess tomorrow, what should we dive into tomorrow? Let's see. I know Kevin's here. Coke's here. We got a few people watching in different places. Why don't you let me know what your favorite feature of the jamming part of this is? I think it's going to be what we're going to do next, is being able to use these YouTube videos that they have in here. There's some fusion jam tracks, rock jam tracks, R&B and soul. We're going to get into all that tomorrow. So these are all recommended, but there might be a little more to it than that. Let's see here. Save songs, what's new, Apple Music, Spotify. I've got Spotify connected to it, so that should be fun. And we have our tuner and metronome, about positive grit. So save songs as well. Didn't I have any save songs? Some of the Get Moving guitar stuff we did a long time ago. And then in one I did for a student there too. So there's regular songs, and then there's empty slots for the Smart Jam as well. I don't know that I'd be using that a whole lot. So my Spark 40, what is this? Oh, okay. You can add different devices there. So, okay. So we've basically gone through the tones, and woo, that happened. We've gone through the tones, and now we're rounding up the other stuff. Let's see what's new. What do we got that's new? Design your own custom grill for Spark. Maybe I should do that. Maybe we'll get a Play Guitar Academy custom grill, Spark Mini firmware update, and free Studio One Prime for Spark owners. Studio One Prime. That's kind of a limited version of Studio One. I always start in you thinking, maybe I'll use this, and it gets so limited that you get frustrated before it goes. But okay, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and call it for today. Go ahead and if you got anything you want to ask about the Spark, or anything that you want to, anything at all you want to talk about, go ahead and put it into the chat as we're winding down. I'm going to go check over here, over on Facebook. Make sure it's coming through on Facebook. Oh, we're just getting some. David is here. What's happening? What's going on? David says, pop not being useful in Spark pretty much sums up pop in real life. Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's some cool chord progressions in some pop songs. Definitely there are. And, all these different styles of music borrow from each other anyway. But there's I don't play a lot of pop music myself, but there are some cool, and there's certain times when pop music is more blues based. There's certain times when pop music is more like rock based. Now it's more like electronic, like loop. It's all like loop based stuff now. So, but you're right. I can't say you're wrong. You're right. I saw your guitar picture, David, from your 80s. My wife shared my 80s guitar picture on Facebook, and I think it's prompted a few people to share as well. David had one too. Let that with the guitar there. That was awesome. That was awesome. Okay, everybody. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call it. Great to see everybody today. And tomorrow we're going to get into all the YouTube and the video stuff that they have there too. And there's a couple features that go along with that. That should be pretty fun. Learning the chord thing, and we'll see if it works. We're batting 50-50 with how it works. These things where it figures out the chords on the fly. So far, we're 50-50 with it right now. But we'll see tomorrow if on the videos it does any better. Okay, everybody. Great to see you today. Thanks, Coke. Thanks, Kevin. And thanks, David. Good to see you in the chat. Thanks, everyone else, for watching. And I know there's a lot of folks that watch these later on. And I appreciate you watching them. And please put something in the chat of the video wherever you're watching it, and I'll get it. And we had someone request the Spark pedal, looking at the Spark pedal, and whether it has a looper in it or not. Yet I know it didn't for a long time. I know there are aftermarket pedals that do have loopers in them, and they're kind of rigged to to work as a looper. Putting just a regular loop pedal in front of the Spark will say. So here's the situation. So say you want to just do a little rhythm guitar part, and you're plugged into your pedal, and you hit record, and it records your playing, and then you hit it again, and it plays. What happens is, though, if you change the tone on the Spark, it will also change the tone of whatever the loop pedal is pushing out. David says my looper works on the Spark. Yeah. Do you have it? Is it built into the Spark pedal? Do they do that now, or is it? Do you have a separate looper that you plug in before you plug it into the Spark? Yeah, that's the thing. I think people were wanting some sort of a looper where you could loop a sound. And if Coke is still here, Coke knows all about the loop and stuff. But I think what people were wanting is, you could loop a certain tone, and then have that repeat, and then change the tone so that you could have something different, but it still keeps the original sound there. Right now, if you put a loop pedal into it, every time you change the tone of the pedal, it's going to change everything that's in the loop pedal and all that stuff. David says, no, separate looper, but you're right about the tone. Yeah. So I think that's an issue that people would like to have. I guess you could put, if you were going out of the Spark. I'm looking at the Spark right now, trying to figure it out. If you were going out of the headphone jack into something else that you're listening to it from, you could plug that headphone jack into a loop pedal, and then afterwards, and that would give you some of that stuff there. So. Okay, everybody. Well, have a great rest of your day. I'm going to go ahead. I'm doing website stuff. This website is coming, and it's a lot of work. So I'm going to head on back to doing that. Great to spend the afternoon with you. And I'll see you all soon. Okay. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.